in that mode of where we really want to be living at. We're living where we're stuck at. And so, writing stuff down is a big deal. That's why we have, goal setting, right? So writing stuff down, speaking stuff, right? Writing and speaking stuff out, and then acting on it. But you got to be bold enough to be able to put yourself out there in such a way where you're letting other people know what you're about to do. And then you behold to what you told everyone you're going to do, and you go and do it. You start living as if you already have it. And I'm telling you guys, listen, Mike talked about this last week about stop living where you're at and start living where you want to be. Start being that person who goes into the nice restaurant and gets the nice table with the nice bottle of wine. Just start living it now and start being the person that you say you want to be. Or maybe you're not saying it enough to enough people, but you start acting on it. That's why I always tell you guys, do your actions match your goals? I say it all the time. Maybe you guys probably miss it. Do your actions. If you have monetary goals of $10,000 or $20,000 or $50,000, $100,000 a month, whatever it is, do your actions mirror your goals? Do they match? And more times than not, we aren't living in that mode of where we really want to be living at. We're living where we're stuck at. And so, writing stuff down is a big deal. That's why we have, goal setting, right? So writing stuff down, speaking stuff, right? Writing and speaking stuff out, and then acting on it, and then doing it, being it, living it, right? These are like some of the most powerful cheat codes in the world that you guys, every one of us has the ability to do. And I know for some of you guys, this is maybe some far out stuff, but there's a reason why you got guys like a Tony Robbins or Conor McGregor, or a Tiger Woods, or some of these guys that sit there and they visualize. So they're taking it a step further, right? They're visualizing, they're acting, they're writing down their goals, they're speaking their goals to the people they need to speak them to, or to themselves, right? And then they're going into their mind, into this movie, into their mind, and they're visualizing it happen. Right? They're visualizing that whole entire scene happen. They're scripting it out. That's why when I talk to you guys about scripting out your future, it's for a reason. I understand some of these cheat codes differently than you guys. Okay, there's a reason why I'm at where I'm at. Is because I started to pick up some of these things, and I've really taken hold of them, and I'm stepping in and trying to be in that world. Now, I was telling them the story of when I bought my stupid purchase of the Lamborghini, but it's a stupid purchase, but it's dope to me because it was something I always wanted. And it was something that I visualized. And I was just telling him, I used to walk into Lamborghini store. Tori will tell you this. You guys will probably, if you go through my old story from way back in the day, you'll see me posting. I was obsessed with your car. He's got the i8 sick BMW. You'll see that on my story. When I first moved to California, I was like, I'm getting that car. Right. I was all up on it. Yeah. And then I got the R8. And then it was like, but I would keep myself in those situations around that stuff, surrounded with where I belong to be there. I belong to be in that showroom. I got kicked out of a few showrooms, don't get me wrong, because they're like, what's this kid in sweats, walking around these $300,000-$400,000 cars? Beverly Hills place wouldn't get me the car I tried to buy. Nah, come back on Monday, kid. I'm like, goodbye. I went and bought a car the next day for someone else. But I saw, and there's someone that I won't name names, but she called me. This was back like 6-7 months ago, and she actually referred me to a friend. And if I rewind 2 years before that, I was sitting at a gas station, and I saw this white Lamborghini pull up. And I'm sitting I was sitting there working on the phone, probably answering questions in the Facebook group, and I see this Lamborghini, and this dude sitting there, and he's got one leg out. I remember exactly how I was sitting. I'm like, oh, it's so cool. Like, I was sitting, like, it's just one leg out, door up. And he's texting, and I'm sitting in our car. I just got done coaching Jazz's basketball game. I looked at Tori and I go, I'm buying that car today. And she goes, all right, do it. So I got on my phone. I found a white Lambo that looked identical to this guy's car, door, the whole thing. It was $375,000. I said, take me home. Got in my car, jumped in my R8, hour and a half away. By 7 o'clock that night, I was back with the Lamborghini. 2 years later, I get this call from a gentleman on a Sunday who was a friend with someone who just joined. We're like, hey, this guy lives by you that I just joined his training. Well, the guy in the Lamborghini is a super entrepreneur as well. And I get a call. He's like, hey, this is Moss. And I'm like, I don't know you. Okay. He's like, yeah, my friend. And she told me to connect with you. I'm in SAC. And I'm like, I look him up. I see this white Lambo and I'm like, oh, that was the dude that I saw at the gas station, right? And so it's interesting how you see how the world is all connected, right? And it's interesting that, so many of us go through life thinking we're just this, skin and bones, and, we go through and that's that. But there's so much more to this world that we don't understand. But if you start understanding some of these basic things that the most elite athletes are doing, the most elite people in business are doing, they're projecting their future out so far. They're making the future. You think the Simpsons, everyone thinks this joke, the Simpsons can tell the future. The Simpsons have been scripting the future. That's all they're doing. Right? They're just scripting it. They're scripting out exactly what's going to transpire. Not everything transpires, but a lot of things do because of the way that they're doing things. And some of the things I don't necessarily agree with, but you have to understand is the most elite people in this world understand the power of writing something down and scripting out a goal, scripting out what you guys want. The reason I started talking to you guys about Century Club, because I'm going to lead a lot of you guys into the Century Club. Some of you guys are already there, but the Century Club is where really what your goals said you needed in order to achieve them, but you were too afraid to go after them the same way. So I'm gonna show you all these people that take hold of what they want, and their actions mirror it, and their words mirror it, and their visualizations mirror it. And you're gonna watch a lot of people come out, and we're gonna see people that have made more money in the Century Club that have got 100 Legion sites than ever in any. See people do it in a fraction of the time because now the gauntlet's been set. And so that's a plan by me to pull you guys up to your goals and move you guys in the direction that you guys said you wanted when you joined this. Listen, there's a million vehicles, right? A million vehicles you could take to get to your goal of financial freedom, or being able to take care of your parents, or put your kids in private school, whatever they might be. There's a lot of different vehicles and a lot of different ways you can do it. But while you're sitting in my car, I want to go fast like the Lambo, right? I want to go fast with you guys. And I want to make sure you guys understand some of these different things, because it's more true than I've ever seen ever in my life